Good morning, Your Honor. This is Alan Figueroa, State Certified Spanish Language Interpreter.
All right, what's for? I have a defendant at my lectern. Could you greet her and ask her to tell me her name?
Sí, lo escucho. Mi nombre es Vilma Maldonado Torres.
My name is Vilma Maldonado Torres.
Sir, do you need the services of the Spanish interpreter? Okay. Ma'am, you are here in case 2021 CF 11454 AO on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I reviewed the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Sir, can you tell me your name and can you spell your last name?
Christopher Santiago.
Can you spell your last name?
Want me to spell it?
Yes, please.
Christopher without the H.
No, your last name.
Or Santiago,
All right.
Santiago.
Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in?
I'm sorry?
Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly your right hand to be sworn in? Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? No? You don't want to be sworn in?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. You want me to raise the hands?
Yes. Do you need the services of a Spanish interpreter?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Figueroa, can you switch to the overhead, please?
Sure thing, Your Honor. Señor, levante la mano derecha para prestar juramento.
All right.
Señor, levante la mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Para interpretar.
Levante la mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Oh. No, yo no quiero decir nada de ella.
No, I don't want to say anything about her.
Oh.
All right. Well, if you don't want to say anything, then.
I don't want to say anything, nothing happened.
All right.
You really, nothing.
Well, I can't take any of your I can't take any of your testimony if you're not going to get sworn in. Okay. All right, Mr. Figueroa, you can switch back to the overhead to the headsets, please.
Will do, Your Honor.
All right, good morning, ma'am. I did review your charging affidavit for the charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence. I'm going to set your bond in this matter in the amount of $1,000. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. It says here on your financial affidavit that you make $900 per week.
Ahora mismo soy estilista y recibo, puede ser que reciba más o menos, todo depende.
Well, it all depends. I'm a hairstylist. Sometimes I could make more, sometimes I could make less. It all depends.
All right. So the average is about $900 a week?
Cuando está la temporada alta, sí.
When it's high season, yes.
All right. Is it high season now?
No, ahora mismo no, porque por lo del coronavirus está bastante baja.
No, not right now. Because of the coronavirus situation, it's pretty low.
All right. So on average right now during the pandemic that's been going on for almost 2 years, how much money do you make per week?
Lo máximo 500.
Maximum 500.
All right. So based on that testimony, the court is going to find that you qualify for the services of the public defender. I want to appoint them to represent you in this case. You have a great day, ma'am. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Giovanni Dionisio Ramírez. Dionisio Ramírez. Giovanni Dionisio Ramírez.
Giovanni Dionisio Ramirez.
Good morning, sir. You're here in case 2021 MM5920EO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review your charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case the amount of $1,500. I'm going to make it a condition that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and you'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
¿Ahorita puedo salir o cómo?
So would I be able to get out today?
If you post bond, yes.
Puede hacer una llamada para que paguen la fianza.
Could I make a phone call for the bond?
I'm quite sure. All right, have a great day, sir. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
John Freddy Garcia Tavares.
Mr. Garcia Tavares, you're here in case 2021 MM5889AO on charge of battery dating violence. Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Set your bond in this case in the amount of $500. Conditioning your bond that you have no contact with the victim. You maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at a shared location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter.
Your Honor, in regards to this on bond, state's requesting that you take no action.
I'm not going to take, I wasn't going to.
All right, thank you.
And sir, your on bond case 2021 MM4672AO, the court is not going to take any action as to that case. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jose Gomez.
Jose Gomez.
Mr. Gomez, you're here in case 2021 MM5897AO on a charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
So what about my son? Can I call him? ¿Le puedo llamar a mi hijo?
Can I call my son?
I don't. I can't give you any legal advice. I'm going to tell you like this. The no contact orders are one-way streets. So if you're trying to call the house and your wife or picks up the phone, or your girlfriend here picks up the phone, you're going to be in contact violation of my orders. So until you can get in front of a judge and that modifications be modified, I'll be safe to avoid all forms of contact in any way. You can rely on your attorney and the number on the green sheet of paper. Talk to your attorney to make sure that you are complying with my orders, or there's an understanding that you need to come to with Judge Wayne Shoemaker about what the orders mean. Have a great day, sir.
Your Honor, that's it with the interpreters.
Mr. Figueroa, could you make an announcement in the gallery, please?
Sure, thing, Your Honor. ¿Hay alguien que necesita el intérprete de español de las personas que están en el público?
Don't see any hands, so thank you, Mr. Figueroa.
Not a problem, Your Honor.
All right, is Richard still unavailable?
Your Honor, can we skip Richard?
Yep.
And the next name is Williams, is medical.
Oh, well, if I have to look for it, I'll look for it. All right, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Williams in case 2021 MM 5861 AO. Ms. George, you want to waive his appearance, or you want to
Yes.
try to reset it again?
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, court did review the charging affidavit in his case, did find probable cause for his arrest. Going to set his bond amount of $1,500, condition of bond, no contact with the victim, maintain separate residence from the victim, one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items he has at the location. No weapons, no firearms. The weapons and firearms he has needs to be returned with law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. And it looks like he's on probation in Hillsborough County, so he has a hold from them. So he'll probably be sent there as soon as he resolves this case. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Hazel Boyer.
Mr. Boyer, you're here in case 2021 CF 11467 AO on charge of battery, domestic violence by strangulation, and battery, domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your, so I think this is a warrant affidavit in your case, and I did find probable cause for your arrest. Well, I couldn't tell, State or Ms. Davis, is the injunction case 2017 DR 1456, is that the same victim? Or is that somebody else?
1 second, Your Honor. I'm not sure, Your Honor. I don't have any records of it.
It's a Margaret Smith. It's out of Lake County.
It was
Lee.
a different victim.
I think it's a different victim. All right, Mr. Boyer, in this case, going to set your bond to count one, amount $3,500. Count two, $500. Condition your bond, no contact with the victim. You need to make sure you're maintaining a separate residence from the victim. Give you one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be shown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Yes, ma'am. No return, then no, yes, please. Y'all instructed no return and may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. No, I'm keeping it. I'll keep it. Because obviously Judge Arenas had a reason to do it. All right, have a great day, sir.
Morning.
All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Joseph.
What's your full name?
Joseph Eli Carayas Ortiz.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 11468 AO on charge of battery and false imprisonment. The court reviewed the charging affidavits. In this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Hello. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
My name is Paulette Pineda. Last name is spelled Pineda.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
You can put your hand down. Man, you are here. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Caceres Ortiz? Carillas Ortiz.
We've been married for 2 years now.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
I do not.
All right. Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this current incident?
Yes, he did.
State, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Caceres Ortiz, I wanted to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $500, count 2, $2,000. Conditions of your bond is you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to make sure you maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing. Do you have any questions about the stipulations or your no contact order?
No questions.
All right. You have a great day, sir. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day. Have a great day, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Morning. My name is Christian, Cristan. Last name Castaneda, Castaneda.
All right. Mr. Castaneda, you're here in case 2021 CF 11469 AO on charge of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, unlawful discharge of a firearm, battery, domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Good morning. My name is Johnny. Last name Castaneda, Castaneda.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Castaneda?
I'm sorry?
Can you tell me how you know the defendant in this case?
He's my brother.
And do you want to have contact with your brother while this case is pending?
Not at all.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
Yes.
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Castaneda, in count 1, the court is going to set your bond in the amount of $2,000, count 2, $1,000, and count 3, $500. All those will be subject to pretrial release supervision in all those cases. Sorry, all those counts, I apologize. Condition of your pretrial release supervision is that you have no contact with your brother, that you maintain a separate residence from your brother.
Your Honor, there was 2 victims.
Oh, sorry, that's right, correct. I remember that now. Sir, no contact with the victims, maintain a separate residence from the victims in this case. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'll give you a one-time return to any shared residence to retrieve any personal items with law enforcement. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and you'll be subject to drug and alcohol testing through pretrial release. You have a great day, sir. Sorry, appointed public defender to represent him. Have a great day, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Delcy Mayo Charles.
Ms. Charles, you're here in two cases. The first one being 2021 MM 5923 AO on charges of battery, dating violence, and criminal mischief. You're also here in case 2021 CF 11452 AO on charge of aggravated battery on a pregnant person. They reviewed the charging affidavits in both cases. Did find probable cause for your arrest as to both cases. As of 2021 MM 5923 AO, going to set your bond in count one, amount of $500. And count two, we set at $100. It's going to be PTR with that case. All the conditions are going to be the same on both cases. As to 2021 CF 11452 AO, we're going to set your bond, that sole count of the affidavit, in the amount of $2,000. Condition was subject to pretrial release supervision. Condition of the bonds in both cases, and all, is that you have no contact with the victim. You maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, ma'am?
Well, you said I could go with law enforcement. I just
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
get my car.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, they would also request no contact with any of the witnesses. There are multiple people on scene.
No contact with any witnesses, all right? So anybody that was at the location when this happened, no contact with them.
Like, what do you mean? I called my mom after the fact. Does that count, or she wasn't there during the altercation? But
No, you keep talking to your mom. Just talk people that were actually witnesses to the events.
Okay.
Now, if she becomes a possible witness later on, then, you got to start abiding by that order.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Betsaida Correa Padua.
Ma'am, we here in case 2021 CF 11455 AO on two charges of aggravated assault with a firearm, domestic violence. Reviewed the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest as to those two charges. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Gladibel Padua, Padua.
All right, you keep your mask on for me, please. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, can you tell me how you know the defendant in this case?
she's my daughter.
All right. And do you want to have contact with your daughter while this case is pending?
Yes,
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
between me and her, no. Between her and my other daughter that doesn't live with us, yes.
Okay. And the other daughter does not live with you, correct?
No,
All right. Does the other daughter have a reason to come back to your house? Does she have any belongings there?
I talked to her yesterday and I told her not to come until we could get like counseling or something, not to
Okay.
come for now.
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
No,
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Carrera, is it Carrera Kappa? Is it
Correa.
Copay?
It's Correa. Like a.
Correa?
Yeah, Correa.
What's it like the second, what's your second last name?
Padua.
Palma?
Yeah.
Carrera Palma. I'm going to set bond in count one in amount of $1,500, count two, $1,500. Condition of the bond that you have no contact with your sister. All right. You can have no hostile contact with your mom. All right. So no hostile contact means this: you live with her. things happen now that you're an adult and between children and their parents. However, those disagreements that you have with your mother and your parents cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. There could be no abusive language used. Because no matter if she calls law enforcement or somebody that sees and hears you all arguing calls law enforcement, you will be arrested. You're spending the remaining of your time here with me in Orange County Jail on a no bond status. You understand that? You also may not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning, Elsa Cowley.
Ms. Cowley, you are here in case 2021 CF 1147 AO on a charge of battery on a person 65 years or older. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in your case in the amount of $500. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You maintain a separate residence from this victim.
Yes.
I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement if you have a shared residence to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. If you have any questions about your no contact order?
No, sir.
All right, you have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Latia Davis.
Ms. Davis, you're here in case 2021 CF 8607 AO on charge of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount of $2,500. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, ma'am?
No.
All right, you have a great day, ma'am.
Right.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Michael Harris.
Mr. Harris, you're here in case 2021 CF 11457 AO on a charge of battery by a person, also battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and battery dating violence. I did review the charging affidavit in the case. I was having some questions as to the strangulation part of this affidavit.
You're on the only line that I'll point you to is after she went back inside, Harris began to hit her and then proceeded to choke her until she could not breathe. It's in the large paragraph, the second one down, about 4 lines from the top, or 4 lines from the bottom, I'm sorry. I believe she was in the apartment and then she exited to talk to the security officer, and when she went back inside, he began to hit her and proceeded to choke her until she could not breathe. This is Harris, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm blind.
You need me to approach, Your Honor?
No, good, good. You said the third paragraph?
It's the second paragraph down, the large paragraph.
Yep.
It's about 4 lines from the bottom, starts with after she went back.
I see. All right, Mr. Harris, court finds probable cause for your arrest as to the 2 charges you're arrested for. You're going to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $3,000, count 2, $500. Condition of the bond that you be subject to pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You need to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you If you're not possessing weapons or firearms, the weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
No, sir.
All right, we'll appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day. I'll try to remember which one. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Greg McGregor.
Mr. McGregor, you're here in case 2021 CF 11471 AL. I messed all this up. There's a warrant signed for your arrest in this case for charges of battery, domestic violence, and battery, domestic violence by strangulation. Ma'am, can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Yes, Miranda Mansfield. Mansfield is MANSFIELD.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes.
Please solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. McGregor?
Yes, he's my baby father of my 3-month and my 3-year-old.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
Yes.
When was the most recent one before this one?
It was a while ago, I think like more than a year ago.
All right. And did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
All right, State, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right, does anybody want to advocate for anything other than no contact?
Your Honor, I could not see this, the arrest affidavit, the facts for this case.
It wasn't uploaded on the clerk's office, Your Honor. I wasn't able to obtain it either.
All I have is a warrant.
That's all we have as well.
So, Your Honor, I would just ask for pretrial release in this case. That's something I can.
Well, I'm more concerned about the no contact situation. So I'm asking, do you guys have an advocate? Do you want to advocate for anything other than no contact?
No, nothing other than no contact, Your Honor, other than the victim's testimony that there's been incidences before. State would just ask for no contact until that order can be changed by another judge at a later time.
And Ms. George?
Your Honor, given the fact that the witness testified she would like contact, and if anything happened again, she would call the police, I would ask for a no hostile contact order. And I don't see any convictions for battery in his history, Your Honor.
You have some other things on his face sheet that are raising my
weapons
concerns. All right, so, ma'am. Did Mr. McGregor sign the birth certificates for these 2 children?
Yes.
Does he provide support for these children?
Yes, that's the major thing. Like, he's been helping out a lot with my 3-month-old. She was preemie, so I do need a lot of help. And then we have a 3-year-old, and he's been pretty sick. So that's been the main thing, just helping out with the kids.
So who's working? Because according to this, he's not working.
I am on maternity leave right now.
Yeah, obviously, but.
Yeah.
You go back to work here, because you said the baby's 3 months old,
Yes.
so you're going back to work soon?
Next month on the 23rd.
All right, Mr. McGregor, I'm gonna do this. You and I are gonna have a trust moment, all right? We'll set your bond account one in the amount of $500, count two, $2,000. It's gonna be subject to pretrial release supervision. Give you no hostile contact. Got concerns about that based on these charges, like these burglary charges and these firearm charges. All right, just listen. No hostile contact. So no threats, no abusive language, no violence. Because no matter whether she's calling law enforcement or your neighbor's calling law enforcement, if that happens, you're gonna be arrested. You're gonna be here with me, no bond, no seeing little babies, no seeing your toddler, you understand that? Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. No weapons, no firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. All right. So whatever tools you need, like you may want to enroll yourself in a batter's intervention course so you can deal with the stress of whatever dealing with being a father, or get you different role models as fathers so you make sure you're not doing what was alleged to be in these affidavits. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a great day.
Your Honor,
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
mean to put the 2,000 on the strangulation charge?
Yes, ma'am. It was on my. Sorry, yep. So my thing, on my face sheet was the other way around, so, yes. I'm gonna say 500 that's to the battery and 2,000, that's to the battery by strangulation. All right, good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Brenda Carr.
Ms. Carr, are you here in case 2021 MM 5896AO on charge of battery domestic violence? I did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Yes, sir. Travell Jefferson. Last name Jefferson.
All right, and can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Sir, can you tell me how you know Ms. Carr?
She's my girlfriend of 4.5 years right now.
All right. And do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Do you want to have contact with her?
Yeah.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
It's been a few, but nothing this serious.
What's a few and what's not this serious?
Like two, three, and not this serious. Like, we've never got this mad to call the cops on each other and stuff.
Okay. When was the most recent one before this incident?
June of 2020 or 2019. I can't remember.
Okay. And did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
State, you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George,
No, Your
does anybody in this case want to advocate for anything that no contact?
Yes, Your Honor. I understand the victim's testimony here today. However, it's alleged in the affidavit the history of sharp objects. So state would ask for no contact, which could be changed at a later time after a cooling off period.
All right. And Ms. George.
Your Honor, I would just ask for no hostile contact order. And if she's placed on pretrial release and anything like this happens again, she'll be brought back here before you and held at no bond. I see majority of her history is drug related and nonviolent.
Yep.
So I ask that you provide a no hostile contact order, and it appears they have a child.
My question is concerned about her mental health. Because the allegations were, I believe, self-mutilation, not violence towards the other person. So,
Yes, Your Honor.
anybody have anything about that? Well,
I don't know if she will qualify.
so has she seen any mental health professionals?
Not to my knowledge, no. I haven't seen her go to any mental health meetings or take any mental health medication or anything, so No.
She has not been on any, she
Yes, she has not. I'm sorry.
And what was this battery domestic, were you the subject of this prior domestic battery arrest?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Were you the victim in the prior domestic battery arrest in this, for Ms. Carr?
Yes.
It wasn't, Your Honor.
All right, you remember when that was? That was
It was in October 2017, and it was a Harris.
okay. Were you aware of that?
No, sir.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. George.
Your Honor, I asked, she's never seen anyone for any type of mental health. The only thing she had was ADHD when she was a kid, Your Honor.
Your Honor, there was a 2019 non-arrest felony, aggravated battery and resisting without, where Mr. Jefferson was the victim of.
All right, Ms. Carr, in this case, is going to set your bond in the matter in the amount of $1,000. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You had no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release.
I don't understand. I'm sorry.
I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. Well, Ms. George is right there, so talk to Ms. George about what you don't understand, okay?
Thank you.
All right, sir, have a great day. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Joseph Escalera.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 5899 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this
Your Honor,
case.
there's a victim.
Oh, hello. Sorry. The green kind of caught me off guard there. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
My name is Brianna Ayala. Last name is Ayala.
And can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. All right, ma'am, can you tell me how you know the defendant in this case?
He's my boyfriend and the father of my baby.
Let's say the last part.
The father of my baby.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
Say you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And
No,
Ms. George.
no, Your Honor.
How old is the child?
2 months.
How old?
2 months.
2 months?
Mhm.
And did he sign a birth certificate for this child?
Yes.
Based on the facts in this affidavit, does anybody want to advocate for anything other than no contact?
Nothing other than no contact, Your Honor, due to the child being involved.
Your Honor, I would ask for a no hostile contact order. I do not see any other domestic violence in his history. And given that they just had a baby, I would ask for a no hostile contact order. And Your Honor, you could even have a maintain separate residence, but at least they'll still be able to see the child and interact with each other for the child's sake.
Based on the affidavit, the facts allegation in this case, the court's more concerned with shouldn't be really an issue. The threat of somebody putting you on child support to take care of your own child shouldn't create violence. So, sir, in case 2021 MM 5899 AO, of course, going to set your bond amount of $1,000, conditioning your bond and no contact with the victim in this case. You maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be determined by law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. My orders can always be modified by Judge Shoemaker, who's the division judge in this case. It may allow you all to use the parenting app, things like that, to communicate with each other about the child. But right now, there's no contact. All right, everybody have a great day. So I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Roy.
Mr. Greer, you're here in case 2021 MM 5904 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $1,000. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the, sorry, you don't qualify for pretrial release, apologize.
And I'm sorry.
Didn't say why you didn't qualify. I have it, on my here it says doesn't qualify, see other notes, but then.
I think it's the probation violations, Your Honor, the inability to comply with court orders potentially.
Was it also, I see, unable to verify community ties. All right, sir, $1,000, no pre-TR, just straight bond conditions, no contact with the victim, maintain separate residence from the victim, give you one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be determined with law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case.
In November is medical.
Is Ms. Hen, 2021 MM 5916 AO, want to appoint the public defender to represent her?
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause. Was she qualified, Ms. Davis, if interviewed?
She could qualify, Your Honor.
All right. Let's set her bond 250, PTR, no contact with the victim, maintain separate residence, no weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms she has need to be determined with law enforcement within 24 hours of her release.
Johnson is mental health.
Sorry, for Ms. Hen, appointed public defender representative. All right, Johnson's mental health, 2021 MM 5909 AO. We're appointed public defender to represent him.
I'll waive.
Her, I'm sorry.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, this case 2000, and she's here for a violation of injunction. She has excessive domestic violence history, both felony and misdemeanor. And she was served with this injunction on August 11th of, sorry. Yeah, served with August 18th, she was served with the injunction that she's violated. And today is August 23rd, 2021. Stated you all intend to file a motion of pretrial detention.
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, we're gonna set her bond amount of $100,000, condition of bond, be subject to pretrial release supervision, no contact with the victim. Need to comply with the injunction in 2021 DR 9098 AO. It was mental health, correct?
Yes. Mental health.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Bond Charles Jones.
Mr. Jones, you're here in case 2021 MM 5911 AO, charge of battery, dating violence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case to the amount of $5,000. Condition your bond, no contact with the victim. Maintain separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Mr. Jones, I don't know what's going to happen with this case, but you may want to think about enrolling yourself in the batteries intervention course so you can have a better relationship with this alleged victim.
Excuse me, sir?
You may want to think about enrolling yourself in the batteries intervention course. Get you some treatment or get you all some treatment so you all stop getting arrested for the same offense over and over again. Because I don't know if you like to see me or like the Orange County Jail. I don't think it's comfortable lodging here. So you may want to just thoughts. Not ordering you to do it, just, for your benefit. All right, you got any questions about your no contact order?
$5,000 bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Have a great day, sir.
You too.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Reynaldo Lopez.
Mr. Lopez, you're here in case 2021 MM 5905 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest.
Yeah, he could qualify.
Going to set your bond in this matter in an amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the no contact order you're about to sign?
No, sir.
All right, have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Brendan Mateo Aviles.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM 5895 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. All right, question, this trafficking case, was already seen on this case the other day? Was it a warrant case?
No, they endorsed his bonds, the bondsmen.
They came off his bonds?
Came off his bonds.
Okay. All right, so in 2021 CF 2608 AO, looks like your bondsman came off of your bonds in those cases, so you're gonna be held on those cases, get you in front of your judge for a bond hearing.
So they took away.
No. I'm just telling you what happened to your bonds on the other case, so you're not gonna be able to bond out on that other case until you go see
They took the other bond off?
Yeah,
The bondsman did.
the bondsman, yeah, he came off your bond.
I spoke to them yesterday and they told me they were, oh yeah.
I was trying to inform you about what I have, because it was
Yes, sir.
the odd thing on my paperwork, so I wanted to make sure you understood what was happening.
Yes, sir.
No, we don't need an order. I'm not ordering anything. I'm just telling them what's happening. All right, in 2021 MM 5895 AO, I want to set your bond in that case in amount of $1,500. Conditions, no contact with the victim. Maintain separate residence from the victim. give you one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned with law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're also not allowed to possess any drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription, subject to random drug and alcohol testing in that case. You're out on bond, though, in case 2021 CF 2608 AO.
Your Honor, that's the same thing as a trafficking case. We ended up just filing possession.
Okay, that's okay. So
Paraphernalia.
you filed possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm not gonna
Yes, Your
take any action on that case. 'Cause I think you're already being held at no bond as that case if your bondsman came off your bonds. Am I correct?
No, they hold bonds at 100,000 and 500.
All right. Say, what question? Am I taking action on that case?
Your Honor, I'll leave it within your discretion. He does have a prior failure to appear. It was from 2011, however, that case, its next court date is for pretrial. It'll be its first court date after the arraignment that it just had in June. So I'll leave it within your discretion whether you want to take action.
You guys are following the cases. All right, I'm gonna say the bonds is set in this case. You can go to a bond hearing, get that worked out with the judge. I'm not taking any action on your out on bond case 2021 CF 2608 AO. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Sabrina Roman.
You said Roman is your last name?
Legally, yes.
Not McGirt?
No, I don't know who to talk to about that, but that's not my proper name.
Okay. All right. You said Miss Sabrina Roman.
Right, that's it.
That's okay, Sabrina Roman. All right. Yep, if you could. She's telling her name is Sabrina Roman. All right, good morning. Good morning, ma'am. You're here in case 2021 MM5886 AO on a charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Colin McGirt, McGirt.
All right. And can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yeah.
And put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Ms. Roman?
My wife.
And do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Yeah, is it possible to drop charges here?
Nope.
No.
But you gotta continue. Can you answer my questions though?
Oh, sorry.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No, never.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George.
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Roman, in this case, going to set your bond amount of $250. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision. We're going to order that you have no hostile contact with your husband. Additionally, your no hostile contact. You can have disagreements with him. You can be upset at your husband, left the toilet seat up, made a mess that you want to clean up, left a shirt right outside the hamper instead of putting it inside the hamper. All kinds of things that cause conflict in a marriage, like during a marriage. However, those disagreements, those arguments cannot turn violent. They cannot be threatening. There can be no abusive language used, because no matter whether he calls law enforcement, if somebody sees or hears you all arguing and calls law enforcement, you will be arrested. You will spend the remaining of your time here with me at the Orange County Jail on no bond status. You understand that?
Sir.
You are not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms, and weapons and firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, ma'am. You have a great day, sir. Roman. I guess it was common spelling. I didn't ask her. Yeah. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning, it's Nicolas Naranjo.
Mr. Naranjo, you're here in case 2021 MM 5898 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
It's Hilal Demirkol, Demirkol.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Sorry?
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Naranjo?
Excuse me?
Can you tell me how you know the defendant?
He's my husband.
All right, are you guys legally married?
Yes.
Do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
No.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
Not the incident yesterday, but others, yes.
All right. All right, Mr. Naranjo, in your case, going to set your bond
He can qualify, Your Honor.
in amount of $500. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. Going to appoint a public defender to represent you. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order?
What about the vehicle, sir?
Okay.
The car. Car's under my name. My wife does not have a driver's license. May I take the car?
Well, if it's your car, you're going to there's no return. You have a one-time return with law enforcement.
That's what I'm saying. So can I go pick it up at that moment or?
With law enforcement.
Okay. Just
don't go there by yourself.
No, just that.
All right. All right, have a good day. Have a good day, ma'am.
May I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Can he see my daughter while this all happening? Because he was talking about taking her away since I am a.
Oh, you gotta slow down a little bit. And like you're turning your head away from the microphone. So I can't, like with the mask on, it's hard to hear people if you start moving your head. So she was telling you about taking, that's the last thing I heard.
Taking my daughter away because I'm an immigrant and he can end my residency anytime he wants since it's based on marriage, and I'm feared that he will take my daughter away and I will not be able to get her back.
I can't give you any legal advice. If you wanted to seek like counsel from a family law attorney, I suggest you do that. You also have the state attorney's office to help you in that matter of understanding as a victim. You're also entitled to a victim advocate that I see in the back of the courtroom. So talk to all those people, they'll be able to answer your questions, but as in my role, I can't give you any legal advice, okay?
But does he have right to see my daughter right now?
Not right now. I mean, I would say this. If it's his daughter, he signed a birth certificate, you guys are legally, if there's a child born during the marriage, he has legal rights that he has, but they're being restricted by me because the baby is living at home and I'm ordering him not to live at home. I mean, he can technically see the baby from 500 feet away from the house, maybe, but if I was him, I wouldn't do that because,
Thank you so much.
that'd be violations of my orders and, doesn't go well usually for people that violate my orders around here. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Sierra Wrights.
Ma'am, you're here in case 2021 MM 5910 AO on a charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Morning, sir. Nathan Flash, Flash.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You put your hand down. Sir, can you tell me how you know the defendant in this case?
She's my girlfriend of 7 years, and we share 3 kids together.
All right. And do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
No, sir.
You said no?
Yeah, no, sorry.
All right. And did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, sir.
All right. State, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, in this case, we're gonna set your bond amount of $250. It's gonna come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm also going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order? All right. You have a great day, ma'am. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Daniel Rivera Mirage.
All right, Mr. Rivera. Is it Rivera or River?
Rivera. It's Rivera. They forgot the A.
There you go. You want to fix that too? Is it on the order? Yeah, all right. All right, sir, you are here in case 2021 MM 5885 AL on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit. In this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond, in this case, amount of $1,000. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir.
Can I say something?
What, you have any questions about your no contact order?
No, not
Other than that, wait. Everything you tell me is on the record, so I'm going to have you speak to Ms. George, who I just appointed to be your attorney before you speak to me.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Hakeem Robs. Good morning.
Mr. Robbs, you're here in case 2021 MM 5913 AO on a charge of battery dating violence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Good morning. My name is Graham Martin, Martin.
Mr. Martin, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You put your hand down. Sir, can you tell me how you know Mr. Robbs?
He's my boyfriend.
And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes, I do.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No, this is the first instance.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, Your Honor.
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George.
No, Your Honor.
Is anybody advocating for anything other than no contact?
Your Honor, given that there's no history, and the victim stating that they want contact, I would ask for contact in this case.
Your Honor, I'll leave it with your discretion, given the victim's testimony that he would like contact.
All right. Mr. Robbs, I'm going to set bond in your case amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. It's going to come with $250 bond, pretrial release supervision. First condition, will allow you to return to North Carolina later today. Second condition, you are to have no hostile contact with Mr. Martin. No hostile contact means this: you're allowed to be upset with him. You're allowed to be upset with your boy.
Can't hear you good enough. Can't hear you good.
All right,
Put the headset.
$250 bond,
I heard that part.
pretrial release supervision. No hostile contact with Mr. Martin. No hostile contact means this. You all allowed to have disagreements. There are going to be things that come up in a relationship that cause conflict. However, those disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. There can be no abusive language used. Because if you violate my orders in North Carolina, they're going to put you on a little bus because I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest and send you back to Florida. I want to see you in about 4 months. You understand that?
Here?
Yep. So violate my orders in North Carolina, small bus, little van, drives you back all the way through Georgia, South Carolina, through the upper parts of Florida till you get back to me in Orlando. You're going to stop at a couple jails during that process. So it's going to take you a couple weeks to get here. All right? So don't violate my orders. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Vacan, Rihanna, mental health.
All right. All right, in this case, 2021 MM5907 AO, going to appoint the public defender to represent Ms. Vacan.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
I'm just going to get her screened for mental health pretrial release. If she doesn't qualify for mental health pretrial release, going to set her bond amount of $250. Condition her bond, no contact, and mental health pretrial release, no contact with the victim, maintain separate residence, one-time return with law enforcement, no weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms she has needs to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of her release. And she needs to take any psychotropic medications in the dosage that's prescribed, or mental health medications. Is not to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Come on, sir, can you tell me your name?
Zion Ward.
Mr. Ward, you here in case 2021 MM5893 AO on charges of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Shantira Jackson, Jackson.
And can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Ma'am, can you tell me how you know Mr. Ward?
that's my baby father.
Right. And do you want to have contact with Mr. Ward while this case is pending?
Yes, because that's my only help while I'm in Orlando at the moment.
You got to slow down.
I said yes because it's just me and him with the baby at the moment. This the only family I have in Orlando, so I need his help.
All right. How old is the baby?
8 months years old.
All right. And did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, sir.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said before. Had there been previous instances of domestic violence between you two?
No.
All right. Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George.
No, Your Honor.
Does anybody want to advocate for anything other than no contact?
Your Honor, I would ask for no hostile contact, given the witness testimony and the fact that there is no criminal history.
And state.
Your Honor, I'll leave it within your discretion given the victim's testimony here today and the facts alleged in this case.
Mr. Ward, I'm going to release you on a $250 bond. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision. You have no hostile contact with Ms. Jackson. Do you understand that?
What does that mean? I want
to explain it to you.
Yes, sir.
All right? So no hostile contact means this. You're allowed to be upset with her. There are going to be conflicts that come up with raising a child, especially a child in the age range we're talking about right now.
Yes, sir.
They have sleep regression. There's things going on. They have growth spurts. They have feedings that go on for weeks at a time. Things that cause pressure on a relationship. However, those disagreements, those arguments cannot turn violent. They cannot be threatening. There can be no abusive language used. Because no matter whether she calls law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you all calling law enforcement, all right, you're going to be arrested.
Yes, sir.
You're going to spend time here with me on a no bond status. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Not to possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in that matter. This matter. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
Judge, I want to say thank you for even having me overnight, because I thought about a lot of stuff.
Don't talk.
No, that's what I say. You got an 8-month-old baby. I get it. Well, but you got to deal with pressure when it comes to when raising the kids. All right, we got two more. All right, 2020 CT 4554, Mr. Hutchins, I'm appointed public defender to represent him. He's on a Lake County FTA warrant.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, his bond's gonna stay at $5,000, not taking action on his, out on bond case. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Rachel Villanueva.
Ms. Villanueva, you are here in case 2013 CF 17085AO for violation of probation. Judge, sign your warrant, set your bond in the amount of $0. Your bonds remain at $0 in this matter. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, ma'am. All right. Does anybody have anything for?
We have
Oh, we have Mr. Richard, yes, sir.
mental health.
Yes, mental health.
All right. Almost forgot about it. All right, that's case 2021 MM 5912AO. Here is going to hear a charge of battery domestic violence. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent him.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, did review his charging affidavit, did find probable cause for his arrest. Going to release him on mental health pretrial release. If he doesn't qualify for mental health pretrial release, going to set his bond amount of $500. Condition of his bond, he had no contact with the victim and pretrial release, no contact with the victim.
Record, Monday, August 23rd, 11:52 a.m. If I could have counsel put your appearance on record, I'll get an interpreter on the line.
Taylor May on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Laura Bretaña, Spanish interpreter. The interpreter has already been sworn.
Good morning. If you could please connect with a headset. Yes.
Sí, te escucho.
There is contact, Your Honor.
Sir, please tell me your name.
Miguel Ángel Domingo Andrés.
Miguel Ángel Domingo Andrés.
Correcto.
All right, sir, you're here in 21 CT 5838, charged with no valid driver's license. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $500. You can't drive without a valid Florida license. Do you understand that?
Sí.
Yes.
You also have a case for which you're out on bond, 21 CT 5252, for operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. It looks like you were released on your own recognizance on that charge. I'm going to revoke that at this time. Does either attorney want to be heard on setting a bond or not?
Tried to resolve the case, but given the immigration status, I'm just actually, given that it is a non-violent offense, that you are inclined to revoke that bond.
Okay.
All right, what says the state?
Your Honor, I'll leave it within your discretion. It is the same offense, however, it is a non-violent offense and has only charges here within the U.S. So I'll leave it within your discretion.
Okay.
Just how do you take into account how close in proximity they were as well.
Right, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to revoke that ROR. However, instead of holding you at no bond, I will set a bond of $500. But again, you can't drive without a valid Florida license. Do you understand?
Sí.
500.
Yes.
All right, good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Medardo Enrique Hernández Padilla. Medardo.
Medardo Enriquez Padilla.
Correcto.
All right, sir, you have 3 cases here today, 21 MM 5919, 21 CF 11466, 21 MM 5918. There is probable cause in all of your cases. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Give me one moment. In 5918, you're charged with battery. Your bond is $500. You can have no contact with the victim or any witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Sí.
Yes.
You cannot possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. I'm going to order that you must maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings, but you cannot coordinate that with any victim or witness in this case. Do you understand?
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
In 21 MM 5919, your bond is $500. Again, you cannot possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. Oh, I'm sorry, you're charged with resisting an officer without violence in that case. And then in 21 CF 11466, you're charged with tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement, criminal mischief, damage greater than $1,000, and battery. There is also probable cause in this case. I'll stay your bond at $1,000 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2, $500 on count 3. You cannot possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You can have no contact with any victim or witness in this case. You must maintain a separate residence, and I will allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. Do you understand?
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
All right, good luck, sir.
Okay. Who you have next, Your Honor?
Next, I have Christian Gomez.
Man,
Oh, he bonded?
Bundy.
Oh, so I don't have any other cases for which I need an interpreter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you as well.
All right, we needed to get that in before 12. We did. Do you all need to take another break? No. You have everyone? All right, are the attorneys ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Next, I have arraignments.
Arraignments. Ward is medical.
Wait. I have Sanchez Bustillo first.
Medical.
All right, 20 CT 5984. It looks like he has an attorney. Yeah. Was the attorney, do we know if the attorney was going to appear today? Okay, all right, then I'm not going to appoint the public defender. It's a VOP status.
Division 63 VOP status, September 22nd at 9:30, courtroom 12C.
Next, you said Ward is medical?
It's medical, Your Honor.
Thank you. 21 CT 1661. Ms. George, your office represents him?
I'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
Division 61, pretrial conference, October 1st at 9 o'clock, courtroom 6B.
Tell me your name.
Name is Corey Cruz.
2007 MM 1148. Ms. George, your office represents him in this petty theft and resisting merchandise recovery.
An offer was conveyed, Your Honor, of an adjudication, credit time served, and no return to pay less at 6600 International Drive.
I spoke with everyone else. I just didn't have a chance to speak to Mr. Cruz.
All right, take a moment.
Okay, Your Honor. Mr. Cruz would like to accept the state's offer, and I did briefly go over the rights and the fact that petty theft is an enhanceable.
All right, sir, raise your right hand to be sworn.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, sir. You had an opportunity to discuss with your attorney the rights that you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a chance to review that form in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
It explains those rights in detail. Do you have any questions for me about them?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that.
Yes, ma'am.
And your attorney explained that petty theft is what we call enhanceable, which means after so many convictions, the state can charge it as a felony. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
With all of that in mind, how do you wish to plead this morning?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 13 days you've been in custody. I'm sorry, Ms. May, was there restitution?
There's not, Your Honor.
But there's a no return
Yes, Your Honor.
to,
Payless at 6600 International Drive.
all right, you understand you can't go back there
Yes, ma'am.
if it's even there from 2007? I say that because I don't know that Payless,
No,
they went bankrupt, right? So I don't know that,
they're not there anymore.
I didn't think so. All right, so if it's there, you can't go back, but if it's not, and that doesn't matter. All right, sir, you have, I also have to order you to pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay it, and you have 30 days to appeal in writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Years ago. Sir, please tell me your name.
Elliot Cunningham.
20 MM 7576. Ms. George, your office represents him in this battery charge. It's a DV.
Yes, I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty.
It's a VOP.
It's a VOP, though.
Denial, sorry.
I'm sorry, it's a VOP.
Denial, Your Honor.
VOP status, September 10th at 9 o'clock, courtroom 7C.
All right, good luck, sir.
That mean I got a VOP hearing?
Yes, sir, you will.
September.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Yep.
Please tell me your name.
Stephen Haddon.
21 MM 5252. Ms. George, your office represents him. It looks like a trespass and providing false ID.
An offer was conveyed of an adjudication, credit time served, no return to Conway Plaza, which is located at 4400 Curry Ford Road, and cost of investigation to OPD in the amount of $54.14.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir.
Your Honor, he does want to accept the state's offer of an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return.
Raise your right hand, sir.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You had a chance to discuss with your attorney the rights you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about them?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, does he have a plea form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, did you have an opportunity to review that form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about what's on it?
No, ma'am.
You see that it further explains the rights that you're giving up today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. At this time, how do you wish to plead to the charges of trespass and, providing false ID to law enforcement?
No contest.
All right, sir, I'll accept your plea. I find it freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 26 days that you've been in custody. You're not allowed to return to,
Conway Plaza, located at 4400 Curry Ford Road.
sir, I have to order you to pay the cost of investigation of $54.14 to,
Orlando Police Department.
and I also have to order you to pay court costs. That's about $300. Sir, do you have a job?
I work Social Security, and I'm going to be a part-time job for 2-3 days a week.
All right, do you have a place to live?
I have a place to live now. I'll get a part-time job. I can pay my fines, no problem.
All right, I'm going to give you a year to pay it.
Thank you.
All right, so you have 12 months to pay this off.
sweat.
All right, good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing. You too. Tell me your name.
Bruce Madison.
Thank you, sir. You're here in 21 MM 4295, charged with battery domestic violence. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
I'll answer a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Division 50, pretrial conference, September 8th at 1:30, courtroom 7C.
All right, good luck, sir.
McGoffin, Stephanie, medical.
21 CO 894, Ms. George, your office represents her.
I'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Division 85, pretrial conference, September 13th at 9 o'clock, courtroom 4A.
Rondell, medical.
21 MM 2568, I'm going to appoint the public defender's office in this case.
I'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Division 50, pretrial conference, September 8th at 1:30, courtroom 7C.
Scaglion, medical.
21 MM 5285, Ms. George, your office represents her.
I'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
Division 61, pretrial conference, October 1st at 9 o'clock, courtroom 6B.
Woodson, medical.
21 MM 5767, Ms. George, your office represents him.
I'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
Division 63, pretrial conference, September 23rd at 1 o'clock, courtroom 12C. Give me one.
All right. And B, do you need a break now or no? You ready? Okay. Okay. Ma'am, please tell me your name.
Valencia Garner.
20 MM 477. You're here charged with, actually, a capias was issued for your arrest for failing to appear for a competency hearing on a charge of petty theft. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Can you tell me if she qualifies for
Already. It was dismissed.
mental health pretrial release?
You can have her screened, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to have her screened for mental health pretrial release because that's what's on the capias. Ms. George?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the only thing authorized on the capias. So if she doesn't qualify, y'all might want to file a motion.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, ma'am, I'm going to have you screened for mental health pretrial release, and then if you don't qualify for that, your attorney is going to have to file a motion. But if you are released, then all of the same,
I'm representing myself. I'm not accepting no attorney. I'm pro se legitimate.
okay, hold on, let me see that again.
Your Honor, a PD has already been appointed.
Right, you already have an attorney.
No, I don't have any attorney. Honey, it's been dismissed. I told you that already.
So according to the trial, another judge issued a capias for your arrest, so they don't think it's been dismissed.
Yes, it has. From aspirin, they sent over the paperwork, dismissed me out of there. So
Can you tell me, Ms. May, if you show an information filed in this case or an announcement of no information?
And information has been filed. It was filed 2/7 of 2020, and a no information notice has not been filed to date.
All right, so at this time, the charge is still pending according to the state of Florida. So I'm going to have you screened for mental health pretrial release with all of the original release conditions. And if for some reason you don't qualify, we'll probably see you back here. All right, good luck, ma'am.
Your Honor, she has another case.
Okay. Sorry, didn't see it. I'm sorry, ma'am, you have another case. It's 21 MM 592, misuse of 911. I do recall reading this affidavit. There is probable cause here. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
now I said I'm representing myself. Pro se legitimate.
I understand that that's what you'd like to do, and
It's not
you
no
do.
like. I'm gonna represent myself, honey. You better stop playing with me now.
I understand that you have a right to
stop playing
represent
with me.
yourself, but ma'am, in order, all right. Her bond is $500. I am appointing the PD.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sorry, I just missed that other case. That's the one I read this morning.
Oh, I do.
Ms. George, that's one of those cases, though, that we might have that issue. If she doesn't qualify for mental health pretrial release, she'll have to come back. But because it's a capias, I can't change the capias.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Oh, that's a lady.
oh, well, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Are you Joey Lester?
Yes.
All right,
That's
sir.
what my dad told me, but my name's Emmanuel.
All right, well, I'm going to call you Mr. Lester for today.
Okay.
In 21 CF 11453, you're here charged with attempted robbery.
What kind of charge is that?
What it means is the state is going to have to decide if they're going to charge you, but it,
Ma'am, I've never, Judge, I've never heard of a charge like that.
attempted robbery, it means that you tried to take something from someone.
I didn't take nothing.
But you didn't. Right. Listen.
What did they say I took?
The allegation is that you tried to take someone's phone or money. But at this time, we're not having an
You
evidentiary
have the
hearing.
evidence.
I don't, sir. Not at this time. All we have is a probable cause affidavit.
Yes, ma'am.
The only thing I'm doing today is telling you there's probable cause. I'm not telling you that that you're guilty or the state can
I
prove
ain't
it.
got no money.
I understand. That's gonna be it for a later hearing. Today, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
This charge doesn't.
My dad told me that the big,
Okay. This charge doesn't qualify for mental health pretrial release, does it?
I would say he has been.
One moment, sir.
Screened for mental health PTR before numerous times, and he didn't.
Oh, and he doesn't qualify? Okay, all right. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Give me one moment.
who is that? The attorney?
No, sir, she works here and she helps the court when there's information that I need.
No, that's the state.
No, sir, the state of Florida is represented by an attorney.
Oh,
So
I don't know.
here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to leave the bond at $2,500. I'm going to order that you're not allowed to return to,
I believe it was on the Lynx bus, Your Honor.
it's on the bus?
I believe so.
Oh,
Yes, I would ask for without a valid ticket, Your Honor.
all right. So you can be on the bus if you have a valid ticket. But if you don't have a ticket, you can't ride the bus. Do you understand? You have to say yes out loud. Can you say it? Did you say yes?
Huh?
I need you to say yes out loud because we're making a record. You were nodding your head that you understood me, but I need you to say yes.
I don't understand.
Okay, so if you have a bus ticket, you can ride the bus. But if you don't have a ticket, you can't get on the bus. You understand?
So if I got money,
If you got a ticket for the bus,
I gotta have money to get a ticket.
well, that's true.
So I put $2 in the bus
Well, then you can get a bus ticket.
and get a ticket.
Yes, sir. You also can't have any contact with the victim in this case. And you can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. What says the state as to his out on bond? It's a trespass.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm trying to see where it was located at.
Am I gonna be released?
Well, I did give you a bond, but I'm looking at, it looks like you were out on bonds in another case. I'm gonna take no action on that case at this time. So yes, sir, if you post your bond, you can get out.
The day?
You could get out today if you post it.
How
Call,
much is it?
it's $2,500.
200 and 500.
2,500.
2,000?
Yes, sir.
How much money is that?
Well, talk to your attorney about it, okay? Call the number on that paper. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Jolene Audrey American.
All right, I'm looking for paperwork now. Give me one moment. All right, you're here because a capias was issued for your arrest for failing to appear for a status hearing on a charge of petty theft with 2 prior convictions. The bond authorized is $2,000. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Good luck, ma'am.
Can we bypass Smith for one moment?
Yes, sir. Okay. Not yet. After this one. We have one more. And Stroud. It's in my stack. Maybe no? Okay. Ma'am, please tell me your name.
Lila De Leon.
All right, just a moment.
Bonds.
DeLeon.
Bonded, Your Honor.
Give it to you.
All right. No. Hold on one moment. No. Did you say Barnes bonded?
Yes, bonded.
Okay. What about, I'm sorry, just give me one moment, ma'am. What about Carl Barris?
Bonded also.
Thank you. All right, ma'am, you're here in 21 MM 5901, charged with trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, an offer was conveyed of a withhold credit time served and no return. However, she would likely qualify for PTD downtown.
All right.
I would ask for ROR. She has no criminal history. She's on social security income.
What says the state?
State has no objection, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am. At this time, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance with special conditions. You cannot go back to the Orlando International Airport without a valid ticket. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck, ma'am.
He is mental health.
21 MM 5903. Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office. There is probable cause.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
I'll say the bond at $500 with a no return. She's out on bond in several cases.
Yeah, she's been deemed incompetent to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, I'll take no action on those. Sir, please tell me your name.
Richard King.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Richard King.
Yes, thank you. 21 MM 5902, you're here charged with trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer conveyed was an adjudication, credit time served, and no return.
I did speak to Mr. King, Your Honor. We went over all the rights he would be given up. He understands those rights and would like to resolve the case today.
Sir, please raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, sir, you had an opportunity to discuss with an attorney the rights you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about them? All right, there's a form in front of you there that further explains those rights. Did you have a chance to review that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions upon reviewing that?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, how do you wish to plead a trespass on property after warning?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 2 days that you've been in custody. Thank you. You're not allowed to return to Royal Inn Hotel. Do you have any property there? All right, so you can't go back there for any reason, you understand? I have to order that you pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay that. Good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing.
Boston Stowe, Maxim, bonded.
Wait, what about Dara Marsden?
Right here.
I have her next. Well, I have her face sheet next, but I don't have her next in the paperwork. Who did you say bonded?
Boston Stowe, Maxim.
Got it, thank you. Then I have Marsden. Thank you, B. 21 MM 5884. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Dara Marsden.
All right, you're here charged with trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer conveyed was an adjudication, credit time served, and no return to guilt nightclub.
She's out on bond.
Your Honor, I did speak to Ms. Marston. We went over the right to be given up. She understands those rights and would like to accept the state's offer here today. I also discussed with her the possibility that you could revoke her out on bond. However, Your Honor, because she's resolving the trespass, I would ask that you take no action on the out on bond. She has 0 failures to appear, and it looks like her last conviction was in 2013. I just ask that you take all of that into consideration.
I will, but at this time, I haven't made a decision as to her out on bond case. All right, Ms. Marsden, raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, you had an opportunity to discuss with an attorney the rights you'd be giving up today if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me about those rights?
No.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported?
Yes.
You understand that if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that?
Yes.
Also, Ms. Marsden, you understand that you are currently out on bond in 21 MM 3550, charged with resisting an officer without violence, threats to a law enforcement officer, public official, or family member. Because you're out on bond and pretrial release in that case, and you were arrested for a new law violation, the court can revoke that bond. Do you understand?
I do understand, but may I speak, Your Honor?
You can. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure you understand all of this. I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak to me about it after I accept your plea, but I just want to make sure that you know that even if I accept your plea and I sentence you according to the state's offer, I might still revoke that bond. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, how do you wish to plead a trespass on property after warning?
Guilty.
I'll accept your plea of guilty. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. All right, ma'am, what did you want to tell me?
Okay, I just wanted to say that I just recently started working like a month ago, and I have my son out at home school, virtual school him. He has already testing this weekend, and I wanted to apologize, about what happened, but I did have to use the bathroom severely. I have my monthly, and my clothes were soiled, so I want to apologize for that, for the trespassing, but I just wanted you to know that I am a primary caregiver of my son, and I homeschool him, and I've just started working like a month ago.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. Did you say the offer was adjudication of guilt?
Yes, Your Honor.
At this time, I accept your pleas. I find they're freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 2 days you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay that. You're not allowed to return to the guilt nightclub. Do you understand?
Yes.
Your Honor, do you want any information about the out on bond?
Yes?
Would you like a factual basis?
Yes, please.
It came in bat DV, resisting without, and threat to Leo on May 24th of 2021. Victim, her husband in this case, had an argument. She slapped him on the face. He refused to go into details and was uncooperative. Therefore, we did not file the bat DV. The law enforcement officer alleged that she appeared to be under the influence. When she was secured and handcuffed, she pulled away, 10 steps, struggled. She was eventually handcuffed and refused to enter the patrol vehicle. While at the BRC, she became aggressive and verbally threatened to kill the law enforcement, several prisoners, and correctional personnel. All events occurred in Orange County, Florida.
Your Honor, again, I would just point to the fact she resolved the trespass. She does not, the last conviction was a disorderly conduct. As my client just stated, she just started working. If you revoke and, let's just say double the bond, she's not gonna be able to afford it. She did resolve the trespass. I just ask that you take that into consideration. And the fact that she has 0 failures to appear, and she has 1 misdemeanor in her history.
Your Honor, the state's only concern is the alcohol seems to be a potential risk factor and that encourages her to pick up cases. Potentially that disorderly conduct from 2013. This case, there was an allegation of alcohol, and then in the trespass, she was at a nightclub.
I don't believe there was an allegation of alcohol in the trespass.
It was at 2 a.m. at a nightclub.
That doesn't mean there's an allegation of alcohol. And I would just point out, Your Honor, because the out on bond, one condition was she's not allowed to have any alcohol. I would just ask that you take all of that into consideration.
All right, I'm not going to revoke your bond in that case at this time. Good luck, ma'am. Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Dwayne Marshburn.
21MM5900, you're here charged with trespass on property after warning. Was there an offer?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Your bond is $500. You're not allowed to return to,
It's a single-family residence, 1514 Leopard Court, or Leopard Court.
all right, you can't go back to that house. Do you understand? You can't have any contact with the victim. And that's all. All right, good luck, sir. Yes, sir. Please tell me your name.
Diriel Mena.
21MM5906, you're here charged with battery. There's probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you.
Your Honor, he does qualify for pretrial release. I would ask for pretrial release in this case. I don't see any type of convictions here.
What says the state?
State has no objection, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, I'm going to place you on pretrial release with special conditions. You can have no contact with a victim or any witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means? You cannot possess or consume alcoholic beverages. You'll be subject to random alcohol screens. You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm or ammunition. You cannot return to the Stagger Inn for any reason. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Marquise Reed, ma'am.
Thank you. 21MM5894. You're here charged with trespass on property after warning. Was there an offer in this case?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer conveyed was an adjudication, credit time served, and no return to the 7-Eleven.
And Your Honor, I did have a chance to speak to Mr. Reed. We went over all the rights he was given. I would like to accept the state's offer. Additionally, I did speak to him about the fact that you can revoke his out on bond, the ROR status. However, I would just ask that given that he's resolving this case, you take no action.
All right, raise your right hand, sir.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, you had an opportunity to discuss with an attorney all the rights you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about them?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had an opportunity to review that form there in front of you? All
Yes, ma'am.
right, that further explains the rights. Do you have any questions about that?
Ma'am.
All right, you understand that if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest and you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, you're currently out on bond for a felony. Even though you enter a plea on this trespass case, I can still revoke that bond. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, understanding all of this information, how do you wish to plead a trespass on property after warning?
No content.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 2 days you've been in custody. I'll order that you not return to 7-Eleven, located at 938 West Colonial Drive. I have to order that you pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay those. What says the state as to his out on bond case?
Your Honor, I'll leave it within your discretion. Just bring your attention to, he recently, on August 6th, pled to a criminal mischief. He was out on bond for drugs and criminal mischief when he picked up this trespass.
What happened to the burglary with an assault, attempted robbery with a gun from 4/7/21?
He was released from prison for those charges.
Okay, so those are not pending. He was released in April of this year. All right, I'm going to take no action on the out on bond case. Good luck, sir.
Reed Morgan, London.
Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Nelson Rodriguez.
21 5914, you're here charged with trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer conveyed was an adjudication, credit time served, no return to the Wawa.
And Your Honor, I did have a chance to speak to Ms. Rodriguez. We went over all the rights she would be given up, and she would like to accept the state's offer here today.
Raise your right hand, please.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Agree.
You had a chance to speak with an attorney about the rights you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me about them?
No.
I want you to look at that form in front of you. Have you had the opportunity to review it?
Yes.
It further explains those rights. Do you have any questions about them?
No.
You understand if you're on probation anywhere, this plea can violate it.
Yes.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported.
Yes.
All right, at this time, how do you wish to plead a trespass on property after warning?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 2 days that you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay that. I'll also order that you're not allowed to return to Wawa at 2225 South Goldenrod Road. All right, good luck. You have 30 days to appeal in writing.
Rogers, Bonded.
Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Trayvon Williams.
20 1473. Hold on one second. You're here because a capias was issued for your arrest for failing to appear for a pretrial conference on a charge of providing false identification to law enforcement officers. The bond is $750.
Your Honor, an offer was conveyed of an adjudication, credit time served.
And Your Honor, I did have a chance to speak to Mr. Williams. He understands all the rights he would be given up and would like to accept the state's offer here today.
Was the PD already appointed in this case? Okay. Raise your right hand, sir.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. You had an opportunity to speak with your attorney about the rights you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about them?
I had one question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, before I did this, I wanted to, my girl was already on the way to pay my bond at 11. So before I take this deal, I wanted to see if was my bond posted first.
I don't have a way to know that. Does anyone else?
No, it hasn't been paid.
All right, then I'll take that.
Okay, but that makes me a little bit concerned. I want to make sure that you understand. You can enter a plea of not guilty to this. You can post your bond, and if you think you have some defenses in the case, you can still raise them. You don't have to plead guilty or no contest today unless that's what you want to do. You understand?
As long as, like, I'm being released, like, with that deal, am I being released? That's all
You are being released, but it's a criminal conviction on your record.
yes, which is a misdemeanor, right?
It is.
Okay, yes, I have.
It's a first-degree misdemeanor.
Yes, I have no problem with that. As long as it's not a felony.
Okay. You understand if you're on probation anywhere, this plea can violate it.
Yes, ma'am, I'm not on probation nowhere.
I believe you. I just have to ask because I wouldn't know if you are.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Other than this state's offer, has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
All right. At this time, how do you wish to plead to the charge of providing false identification to law enforcement?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the time you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay that. All right. Good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing.
9.
You have 9 days. You have 9 days in custody, so that's the credit that I gave you. Good luck. Please tell me your name.
Jalen Thomas.
21 CT 1506. You're here charged with, hold on, is it reckless driving? Give me a minute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, it's reckless driving. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. I reviewed the probable cause affidavit. There is probable cause here. Your bond is $500. Any bond conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, sir.
Doesn't he also have a BOP?
You have a on view?
He does? Hold on. Hold on. He's got another case, but I don't. Looks like you have a violation of probation. Let's see if I can find the case number. Oh, it's out of county, out of Volusia County, 1910705. So at this time, there'll be no bond on that. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you in that case as well. All right, good luck, sir. Thank you, that was quicker. Hold on, I'm gonna.
Did Racinos Gomez bond?
Yeah, I don't know what that is, and that I don't think that gives me what I need.
Okay.
Okay. Please tell me your name.
Anthony Cooper.
Okay, one moment. Oh, no, it was there. All right, Mr. Cooper, you're here in 21 CF 11472. because a warrant was issued for your arrest for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Another judge has already found probable cause in this case. Your bond is $3,500. You can have no contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. You can't have contact with any witness in this case, and you can't return to the scene. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir. And I'm appointing the PD. I don't know if I said that. Oh, okay. Please tell me your name. Oh,
Dunmore Abundant,
all right, thank you.
Fenelon Abundant, Hernandez Abundant,
Please tell me your name.
Timothy Hitchcock.
Okay. CF 11450. Sir, you're here charged with petty theft with 2 prior convictions and trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2. You cannot have contact with any victim or witness in this case. You can't return to the scene for any reason. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck, sir.
low key, his behavior.
This is 21 CF 11461. Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office to represent him.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
He's charged with grand theft of a motor vehicle and assault. I reviewed the probable cause affidavit. There is probable cause in this case. His bond is $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2, no victim contact, no witness contact, not returned to the scene, no weapons, firearms, or ammunition.
Kennedy, he refused court.
21 CF 11460, I'll find his refusal a willing waiver of his appearance today and appoint your office, Ms. George, to represent him. There is probable cause. I'll stay the bond at $1,000 on count 1. I'll reduce it to $100 each on 2 and 3. Count 4 will be $1,000. Cannot possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription or have contact with any known drug dealers.
LaFleur, bonded.
Thank you.
Relax, just breathe.
Please tell me your name.
Jonathan McNeilis.
All right, this is 21 CF 11449. Oh, hold on, he has an attorney appearing. Let me see if we have anyone online.
Yeah, my mom's.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now. You are the only participant.
All right, can we call him back at the end? I'm gonna have the JA see if they can track down his attorney. Thank you.
At home, his behavior.
'21 CF 11451, Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll waive it.
Did you have any questions about this one, Ms.
Yes, Your
George?
Honor. I was going to ask for a 24-hour reset if a PC argument was made.
Yeah, I'm going to give the state 24 hours because I feel like there's some very important information missing from this probable cause affidavit.
Which one, please, Your Honor?
Petty home.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
The burglary.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That one's coming back tomorrow. I don't know if you need that. It should be PM, but because of what the charge is. That's not gonna. Please tell me your name.
Jeffrey Rayner.
Give me 1 second. Okay, so in this. Okay. Sorry, we're doing some new technology here and I want to make sure I do it correctly. Thank you. All right, you're Mr. Reyna. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You're here in 21 CF 11447. Charged with escape and aggravated battery with a weapon. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Your Honor, unless, I don't know if there is an attempt.
I think you got to get closer to the microphone, counselor.
For the escape, it doesn't appear that he actually escaped. It showed that he attempted to escape. And it says he broke free, but Deputy Russo was able to grab his arm.
The estate
And then-
statute covers attempts.
Okay.
I had the exact same question. I went back and read it myself, and I think it's still sufficient.
It says attempts to escape or escape.
Right, and he did break free of the custody. So I think it's enough for probable cause, but I think you might have some very interesting legal arguments later.
Okay, thank you.
But I do appreciate the argument, and I went and pulled the statute myself this morning. So, Mr. Reyna, I do think there's probable cause at this time for these charges. He's not entitled to bond on escape, right?
Your Honor, say there's no objection to you giving bond on it.
Does he have an open violation of probation, though?
He doesn't.
Has a warrant been served?
No, he doesn't have.
He doesn't?
No, but it's a hold for him.
I think he's going to be violated. I think he's currently on probation, and I think that warrant will be forthcoming. All right, sir. Because the state's not objecting, I am going to set bond for you today, but I'm sure you heard what I just said. I believe you have a violation of probation. A warrant might be served on you, so I want to make sure you understand that. Even if you post this bond, if that warrant comes through, you're going to be rearrested or not allowed to leave, actually. Is he on hold? He has a hold?
Yes.
You're not going to be allowed to leave even if you post this bond. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to set your bond on count 1. It's going to be $25,000. Count 2, it'll be $5,000. You can have no contact with any victim or witness in this case. You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. Is this your residence? It's on your property? Okay, then I'm not going to order you not to return. You just can't have any contact with the victim. You understand? Okay. Escape, 25,000. All right, good luck. Do what? Oh, do I have someone on the line? I shouldn't have to. They should just connect.
I'm here, Judge.
Ah, who do I have on the line?
Good morning, well, actually, it's already afternoon, so I'll say good afternoon, Your Honor. It's Attorney Ginger Miranda.
All right, good afternoon, counselor. Thank you for your patience.
problem,
Sir,
Judge.
tell me your name one more time.
State your name.
Jonathan McNeilis.
Okay, let me go back to that. We have your attorney on the line. This is 21 CF 11449. You're here charged with sexual battery on a person greater than 18 years of age by a person greater than 18 years of age. Counsel, did you wish to be heard on anything?
Not at this time, Judge.
All right, I reviewed the affidavit this morning. I do believe there's probable cause here. Did you wish to be heard on bond?
Judge, we just are asking that the court set a bond at this time.
What says the state?
Your Honor, it is an F1, not punishable. So he is entitled to bond. The state requests that you.
Counselor, can you mute your microphone when we're speaking? Because I think we're getting an echo because of that. Let's try that.
It is an F1, but it is not a punishable by life felony, therefore he is entitled to bond, so state's requesting that you set a reasonable bond, as well as conditions regarding the victim and a no return to the area, and take into account the nature of the offense and that the victim was physically helpless at the time.
All right. All right, Attorney Miranda, anything else you'd like the court to consider when setting bond?
Just no prior history, Judge, and he does have connections to the area. He lives here.
And state would just bring to your attention the independent witness in the video corroborating what was in the affidavit.
There is sufficient probable cause here. All right, sir, at this time, your bond is $50,000. You can have no contact with the victim or the witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means? You can't possess or consume alcoholic beverages or any controlled substance without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol screens while out on bond. You can't return to the victim's residence for any reason or be within 1,000 feet of his residence or place of employment. Refresh my recollection, Ms. May. Didn't this begin in a bar or a club?
I do not believe so, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm remembering a different case. Hold on, let me pull this back up. I don't know how to do that. Hold on. Oh. Thank you. One moment, I just need to review the probable cause affidavit again to refresh my recollection. Okay. All right, any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Miranda. Anything else?
That's all I have. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Good luck, sir.
You too. Have a great day, everyone.
We have Mr. Smith here, Your Honor. He was passed by earlier.
Is it Devin Smith?
Yes.
All right, sir. 21 CF 9772. Hold on one second. You're here because a warrant was issued for your arrest for violating sex offender reporting requirements. Another judge has already found probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. Your bond is $15,000. You can have no contact with any minor child under the age of 18. You must comply with all of your other sex offender reporting requirements. Do you understand? All right, good luck, sir.
Stroll bonded, Your Honor.
Wait. I have Stroud. Oh, Stroud bonded? Yes. I'm so sorry, I misheard you. 21 CF, oh, bonded, okay. All right. Please tell me your name.
Catherine Toro.
21 CF 11463. You're here charged with possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, burglary of an occupied conveyance, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. There is probable cause here. I'm going to stay the bonds at $15,000 on count 1, $150 on 2, and $100 on 3 and 4. You cannot have any contact with any victim or witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Yes.
You can't possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription or have contact with any known drug dealers. And you can't return to the car wash at 4436 Curry